this. Welcome to the Team Elevate team call, guys. It is the last Tuesday team call of August 2019 that we will ever have, and tonight's call is going to be epic. But before we jump into the presenter, we're going to do a little bit of recognition because we were having a killer month. I'm so proud of you guys. So many exciting things going on this month. To start, we've changed a total of 550 lives already in August. We still have about 5 days left in the month. Guys, there are 48 people with 4 Success Club points. So push yourself over that edge. Try things you've never done before. Go follow up with people on your chicken list. Like, do things you've never done before. I want to see 0 of these people who have 4 points in this column to push and get that last life change, because so many great things happen when you do push past that benchmark of Success Club. So I'm not going to read the names right now just because there's so many. I remember back in the day when there was like 2, which is a total blessing and a curse, more of a blessing, but I'm so proud of you guys. Our beautiful coach of the week this week is Riley, who came out of the gate on fire, is changing lives like crazy. She's signing coaches. She's just a rock star. And so I made her the coach of the week this week. Couple headlines that I want to just point out. One thing, we've signed 108 coaches in the last 7 days. Guys, give yourself a pat on the back. If you're somebody who signed a coach in the last 7 days, shout yourself out in the chat. You want to know how to grow. Remember, we talked last week about casting that vision, like throwing it out in the water so long and so far and dreaming so big. Maybe that dream income or that dream house or paying off that debt. It's by advancing your teams. Signing challengers is awesome. Changing lives is awesome. But it's one thing to change a life through health and wellness, and it's another thing to totally change the trajectory of other women's futures forever and ever and ever. And that's by advancing your teams and growing your teams, okay? Until one day you're hosting an incredible call like this with one of your biggest inspirations. So 108 coaches signed in the last 7 days. If you guys did not hear, we are officially a superstar qualifying team, which is like massive. And I just want to touch on what that means. And you guys hear me say it all the time, but it is 0% a me thing. I am so blessed to be able to really stand for Team Elevate, but every single one of you guys play a role in this huge benchmark. This is the highest rank that you can hit in all of Beachbody. There has actually only been 69 other teams in all of Beachbody in the past 10 years who have ever done it. So we'll be the 70th team and one of the youngest teams that have ever done it. And so what I really want to just recognize you for is that whether you are a coach, a new coach, whether you're an emerald coach, whether you're a diamond coach, a star diamond coach, you all play a role in us being a superstar team. Even if you're not my direct sponsor, or maybe you're 7 levels deep from me, you being a coach on this team, you being a part of Team Elevate, you're a brick in this house. And us being a superstar team has everything to do with you being a rock star, you showing up into your business, you being on a team call like this. So I just want you guys to be excited about something because you are a massive part of this huge. My emotions have been like this for the last 7 days. And like I said, it's not a me thing. You guys have done it, and I'm just so proud of you guys. So leading into the last headline, we are launching vegan pumpkin spice Shakeology in 7 days. If you have been around since last year, we launched pumpkin spice and it sold out within hours. And so, I mean, not gonna lie, it literally tastes like pumpkin pie. It's the greatest thing ever. I actually have 2 waiting for me in my cupboard to just like have when it turns fall. So I can also start talking about it on my Instagram story. I strategically saved 2 of them. But it is going to be vegan. It's going to retail for customers at $74.95. For us, it's going to be $56.21. The bonus points we'll get for selling it. We'll earn $18.74. We'll get 52 team volume, which means if anybody in our downline sells it or buys it, we'll earn 52 TV, and we'll gain 56 PV if we personally sell it or if we personally buy it, okay? And you will not get Success Club points for that. So that's US, if you're in Canada, or if you sell to anybody in Canada, it's very comparable, just a little bit of different price, but that launches in 7 days. Start talking about it now, guys. Get your people excited about it. I know something that Michelle did was she kind of like recreated a different type of pumpkin Shakeology, and she started like racking up people who were super basic and loved like pumpkin flavors. So now she has like this roll of people who enjoy pumpkin flavors, and now she can follow up with them and let them know, hey, we're launching pumpkin spice Shakeology. It's only going to be $74. So it's just a really great way to start talking about it organically, authentically. All right. So our guest speaker tonight doesn't really need a introduction. Most of you guys know her. She is the creator. She is the face of the Empower Her podcast, which all of you guys know and love, myself included. She's also a rock star in Beachbody. She is a Legacy Club member, which means she has accumulated over $1 million in the course of her business time that she's been in the business. She's also a 10-star diamond, new as of Thursday. Woo, woo. And she's going to talk to us tonight about how to improve our mindsets aligned to like business things, like income producing things. And I know that she reached out to me and she was like, what do you think about also doing a Q&A style? Because so many of you guys have reached out to her throughout the day today. And a lot of you guys follow her podcast. So we figured it would be fun to open it up to questions at the end. So I'm just going to kind of let her take it off. And Keish, when you want to do Q&A, just let me know and we'll open it for questions.
I love it. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here. And first, I can't dive into anything without saying, holy crap, congratulations to this team. And I'm going to echo what Ashley said real quick. This is an absolute team thing, obviously, right? 15-star diamond, that is the highest rank in the company. And I think what's really cool if you're a brand new coach, just my take on this rank-based goal is aligning with the fact that your team is reaching the highest rank, which means that you guys can all use that to leverage it in your business of top ranked team training, right? Stuff like that, like verbiage that no one outside of Beachbody really understands what that is, but you guys know how powerful this is and you can celebrate it that way externally. And I know Ashley is like a ninja with this stuff, so I'm sure she'll figure out extra ways for you guys to do that. But I just hope you guys are so proud of yourself, whether, like Ashley said, you're a brand new coach or you're a diamond rank coach. This is a huge season for your guys' business. Our team has been in 15-star qualification before, and I know you guys are going to end it better than we did. But I'll tell you what's amazing about this rank and what it's doing for the whole team as a whole that I want to talk about a little bit is the contagious element of it, right? So as you're leveling up in your business, I get a lot of coaches that come to me that say Keisha, I wish that I had, more business builders, or I wish I had girls that were pushing for bigger ranks, and taking that finger that you want to point at someone else and turning it back around and pointing it at yourself is so powerful. And what I love and respect so much about Ashley and Kate and some of these other coaches is they're proof, they're walking the walk that they're talking. And I think that's really powerful, and a lesson that we can all learn is that contagious element of diamond, that contagious enthusiasm, right? I think a lot of you guys that have told me that you love the podcast, I'm so grateful for your support of the podcast. But a lot of it is your energy makes me want to do a backflip. I'm like, yes, girl, but guess what? You're on a team that's got that energy. And when you're helping someone change their lives, you're not just helping that person, you're helping everyone around that person. And you're on a team right now that is on freaking fire. So when momentum's at your back, you do not take your foot off the gas right now. So coming from someone who's been in the business just a little bit longer than Ashley, don't all of you guys hear me and say, don't take your foot off the gas right now. You guys are on freaking fire. And I'm so excited. I'm going to be just hype womaning and twerking with my dog just in celebration when you guys hit it. So, okay. I just get sweaty just thinking about how pumped I am for you guys. So what I wanted to talk about is 3 things. I really wanted to make sure that I did Q&A. I want to talk a little bit about inviting, but I also wanted to talk about 3 things that I think hold coaches back in this business and deep dive a little bit into them. So 3 things that I want to talk about is when wanting more in your business or in your life is selfish. The other thing I want to talk about is the comparison game and kind of a little bit of a reframe around that comparison game. And the third is that fear that we get towards leaving someone behind. Okay. So I was talking to my team about what are the biggest fears that they're running into right now. And a lot of them are kind of in these weird different stages in their business, if they're like, 2 stars or 3-star diamonds or pushing for bigger goals. And then the newer coaches have completely different fears. But I think all of us can kind of tap into one of these. So I want to talk about these 3 specifically. The first one is what we often do, and I think about this all the time for how many of you guys, like I can only see the first screen here, but how many of you guys work a full-time corporate job and build this business on the side? Okay. I'm going through the screens. A lot of you guys do. Okay, cool. That's how I started too. So what's really interesting is sometimes Beachbody is the first thing that goes when life gets crazy, right? And what we want to do is make sure that we're tying this to a deeper reason of why we're here, so that when life does get crazy, because it does for everyone in different seasons, that this isn't the first thing that goes. Because this is a compound effect business of you doing those tiny little things consistently over time, right? So I think what's really powerful is when we clear a little bit of these BS stories that we're telling ourselves out of the way, so that we can tie deeper to a why of why we're doing this, so that when you do have a setback, when a coach quits, when Aunt Sally Sue says something about why are you not eating mashed potatoes, right? Whatever she says, that when you have those things that could derail you, they don't, because you're tied to a deeper why. But we can't get there until we swipe all this BS out of the way. And so I love what Ashley said at the beginning of casting a bigger vision. And that is so freaking important in this business. But I think even with a big vision, if you don't have some of these out of the way, you're going to stumble more than you need to. So the first one is we feel like it's selfish if we want more. And a lot of us don't think of that as something that is holding us back, but we think that everything's good. I have this great job. I'm in good health. I have a great relationship. And sometimes because our brains are trying to protect us, we look for someone else around us that is worse off. And we're like, well, she has her marriage is so at least I have a good marriage. Yeah, my business is not thriving, but at least I have a good marriage. And we literally look for proof of someone else that has things worse than us. And then we just feel so grateful for where we're at that we decide that it's selfish for us to want more. But you guys, you can have it all, right? You can absolutely have it all. It's not going to look perfect. It's not going to be this picture perfect pie of perfect balance, but you can, and I think you should, do the thing that you feel called to do. And all of you on this call or listening to this recording, this business somehow fits into your life, right? So I think, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit saucy, so whatever. I think it's really selfish of you if you've got this gut feeling, you're on a team like this, you've got fire in your belly, you want to make a difference, that you don't figure out how to get out of your own damn way to take action, because someone out there needs to hear your story specifically. So you're creating this story of but everything's good. It's okay. I'm going to hit Success Club 6. I wanted 10, but I did hit 6. That is not going to get more people served by this business opportunity, or by them getting to have help in their health and fitness, which everybody needs help in their health and fitness, right? You guys know what type of a community that you're a part of. So you telling yourself the story that everything's good and it's selfish for me to want great is not serving you, nor is it serving anyone around you. So I think we really need to check ourselves and understand if that is the narrative, that maybe we haven't discovered that that's actually what we are doing, is we're settling on mediocrity, but our gut is telling us that we want more. Logistics are not an issue in this business, right? You've got training, you've got YouTube, you've got national wake-up calls, you've got everything that you guys have on this team with powerhouse leaders. You've got podcasts that apparently you guys are loving, so thank you again. But you have all the resources. It's not a lack of resources. But what might be holding you back that you might not have actually identified is that you're telling yourself this subconsciously, maybe, where you're dang it, I am diamond and I did hit Success Club, but in your gut, you want 1 star, you want 2 star, you want elite, you want a crazy goal, you want something massive, and maybe it's not a Beachbody goal. You want something in your life that you just want more, and you've decided that not honoring that is going to make other people feel comfortable. But in reality, I want to just call you out, and I want to tell you, I don't think that your dream is in you for you not to make it come to fruition. And I will tell you guys, I don't know how long you guys will be Beachbody coaches. I hope you'll be here with me till we're I know Ashley and Kate and all this will be twerking when we're 100 in our wheelchairs, and I can't wait. But some of you guys will not be here forever. But the lesson that you can learn is that it's not selfish for you to want more, and you can learn to listen and get more self-aware of that voice that's in you that wants something, and chasing those Beachbody goals is going to help you become a better human, and that's going to help impact every single aspect of your life. And here's the thing, you don't know what this will feed, right? I had no idea that I would want to start a podcast when I started Beachbody coaching. I had no idea that I'd want this to be a multiple six-figure a year business or any of these things. I had no idea that I'd want to move from New York to San Diego. But the fact that I had choices for my future self, because I decided it wasn't selfish that I wanted more, but instead me shining my light as bright as I could. I know that sounds like a Pinterest quote, but really think about this. You showing up at 100 proof is going to give people permission around you to show up as 100 proof too. So it's selfish if you don't do that, right? And it won't be logistics. It won't be the things of like, I don't know how to invite. How do I handle this objection? Girl, we can help you with that. Like, that's logistic stuff. It's just you making sure that you're checking that story that you're telling yourself, and you're making sure that you're asking, is this serving me? And if it's telling you that it's selfish to want more, it's not serving you. And girl, it's not about you anymore. You're on this team. You decided to press that sign up button to become a coach. Maybe you were a discount coach like I was, who was like, I'm never going to build a business. And you just like creeped around in your team page and you're like, and like you're trying to push down this gut feeling like a whack-a-mole, like, I don't want it. But you know, you're on this team call live or watching this recording because you want this. So don't let yourself pretend that you don't. Okay, that's one thing. Some of you guys are really going to be like, holy crap, she just called me out. Does she have a camera in my house? I do. I do have a camera in your house, okay? And number two, this one is huge in network marketing and Beachbody, where we believe that she has something that we don't, right? And we look for those things because our brains are like computers. We're going to, whatever we look for, we're going to find, and then we're going to add it to our bank through this self-confirming bias, right? Where we're going to create this story. Oh, well, let's use Ashley as an example. Ashley has something that you don't. You decide that Ashley has like the best Instagram pictures ever, and she has some like magical unicorn like crack that she's like slipping into people's DMs to make them sign up as coaches, right? You create the story, right? Maybe not something that crazy, but you create the story that's like, if I was like Ashley, I could do this business. Okay. We have to remember that that's not serving us, and not everyone's going to connect with Ashley's story, just like they won't connect with my story. They're going to connect with you. And if you're awkward and you've got kids like throwing stuff in your face all the time when you're on voice message invites, the mom out there needs to see you do this. She's not going to connect with me. She's like, you don't even understand hard. You have a dog that you can like go to date night and just leave your dog at home, which I can. And so can Ashley, right? But she can connect with you when you're a mom of 3 kids and you're trying to juggle all of this. She needs you. So we need to check that comparison lens. And I'm not someone who really believes that comparison ever goes away, especially in a business like this where we're doing a lot of recognition and celebrating each other. But I do think you can develop a healthy lens on comparison where you can see other people show you what's possible, right? You can look at them and say, okay, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know how much work she's putting in. I'll never know. I don't know what her significant other thinks. I don't know how she came into this business, what her mindset was like when she came into this business, right? But I do know that she is proof that it's possible. So my lens on comparison is anyone who's doing anything that I want to do. So for me, a lot of things that I'm thinking about that are outside of Beachbody. One day I'd love to write a book. I'd love to speak on stages outside of Beachbody stages. And I can look at someone who's done that and I can think, oh, like she's already doing this. Or I can think, okay, her book is good because she's failed a ton. Looks like I need to fail a ton to get good content for my book, right? I can look at her and see that she's done something and say, okay, the market's showing me that that's necessary. Same thing for you. If you want to look at your upline coach or someone in the network, do it with the lens of she's showing you that it's possible, but there needs to be a you doing it. And I'll tell you, when I went to Summit for the very first time, I was a baby coach. I was a diamond coach. I'd been coaching for 6 months. I still wasn't really sure like what this business was, but I sat on the ground and I watched speaker after speaker with these back against the wall stories of like crippling debt and these like amazing stories that would just like tear your heart out and just like stomp on it. Like you're just like, oh, I did not have a story like that. Guys, I worked at Google. My dream job. I made 6 figures. I was in a long-term relationship. I did not have any debt. I had like, I like to call it like happy hour weight. Like I didn't have a huge transformation to have. I had like, I go up and down. Like I've had like 15, 20 extra pounds of me, but I never had a massive transformation. I didn't need to make this business work. And I sat there in the audience and I thought, nobody has that story. Looks like it. I should go be it. I'm not seeing it represented. I should go be the representation. Same rules apply for you, right? Which means your story and your differences and your quirks and your shyness, or you're being here for 2 years and all of a sudden the light switch went on. We need to hear the story of the coach that's been here for 2 years. And all of a sudden one random day on a Tuesday night at 9:21 p.m. Eastern time, you were like, I just bleeped myself. Did you see that? In case there's kids. I don't even know how I did that. That was magician-like. But you think, holy crap, I'm going to go for this. I've been just teetering. I've been interested. Now I'm going to draw the line in the sand and I'm going to get committed, because I just realized there's no stories on our team of coaches who have been here for 3 years, who have been discount coaches, who all of a sudden just decided one night on a Tuesday that they're going to freaking go for it. And they're going to message their upline coach and say, you know what? I'm sick of the BS story that I think I don't deserve more. I'm done with it. Other people need to hear my story. Let's freaking go, right? And then all of a sudden, you're sliding in your coach's DM and you're saying that. And you could do that today. Why are we waiting for a Monday? Why are we waiting for some random oblivious date? It can be right now, right? So back to the point of comparison. You guys, this is just how I talk. So I'm just going to scroll a little bit. I hope that you just like nod your head and we're moving in the same direction. Point is, comparison, proof that it's possible. And remember, you are naturally going to compare yourself. Like, I just don't think there's like an F the haters, blinders all the way on. Don't follow a million coaches on social media and create the story that they have something that you don't. But look at it through the lens of, okay, it's possible. Someone's done it. Great. Now let me go do it my way, because my story needs to be heard. Your awkwardness, your quirks, where you think you should be for how long you've been here, the story that you've created of, you know, I don't have a supportive significant other, or I don't know how to post on social media, or I don't have followers on social media. You guys, I earned over $1 million with Beachbody, insert income disclaimer, with 4,000, like I took a screenshot when it actually happened. It was like 4,200 followers on Instagram. I had never even done a free group or a paid ad. And I wasn't a 10-star getting these massive bonuses. That was straight up team volume with 4,000 followers on Instagram. Okay. So point is, you don't need anything. You have it in you. It's just leaning into the fact that you've got to hone on your ability to figure it out, right? You've got to get out of your own damn way. So number one is we need to make sure that we're not settling for good when we know in our gut that we want great, because we've created this story that wanting more is selfish. Okay. Number two, with comparison, we look at other people of what's possible, and we look through the lens, a healthy lens of comparison, where it's like, oh, I admire her for her ability, or like her ability to be herself. Now let me go do it my way. Right. And honestly, unfollow some coaches on social media. You don't need to know what everyone's doing. I really don't even know what coaches are doing, because I'm just kind of like in my own lane, just trying to dance with my dog and like twerk to some Lizzo in the morning. I don't even know. But you can see what's possible by looking at other coaches and hearing their stories, sharing other people's stories. That type of thing is really important. Number three, this one is so interesting. And this is what I struggled the first year that I made $250,000 in 1 year in my business. Insert Beachbody income disclaimer. Don't guarantee. I don't know what it is, but that's not guaranteed. Obviously, I worked my freaking butt off to do that. But the first year that I did that, that was more income than I had ever thought that I would make in my life in 1 year. My upper limit for my own financial potential was that. And it was partially because one of the VPs that I reported to when I was a project manager made that amount of income, and I knew. And so I was like, this guy has like 35 years of experience, and he's like, has all these degrees, and he made that much. Like, in my online business that I love, should I really make that much money? This seems so weird, right? So the story that I told myself was, okay, I've got enough. Number one, it's selfish to want more. This is enough, I'm good, right? So I did that first one. And then what I did, I didn't compare myself to other people, but I did this one, which is number three. I knew that I was capable of more. I knew it in my gut. And some of you right now know how freaking capable you are. But the story that you're telling yourself that's not serving you is that someone is going to be left behind or be inconvenienced by your vision or your ambition, and you're scared, right? I was scared that I would like that I would change or something, and that I would like leave people behind. They would think that I'm weird, that I, friends that didn't understand my ambition, that I was like telling myself all of these stories. So I stayed at that state. We started 15-star qualification. I dropped 15-star qualification, which I will take full ownership for. And why? Not because we didn't have the team for it, but because my mindset, your business will never outgrow your mindset and where you're at. And my mindset was not there at that stage. I was literally scared of passing people in terms of my ambition for life that I was friends with, that I loved. I was scared that they wouldn't like me anymore. Isn't that crazy? Like, would some of you guys actually feel that way? And I love the head nods, because you get it, right? You're scared of what your significant other is going to think if all of a sudden you're so into personal development, you're so into your workouts, and like, what if he or she doesn't get on board with your vision? Like, what's going to happen to your marriage? I want you to live your freaking best life. Do you think that this vision for your life was put in you for you to just simmer on it? Right? The thing that's really scary that you would say out loud, like maybe to no one, maybe just to your dog, is the vision that I want you to go chase. And it's not going to look like anyone else. It's not going to look like some of my best friends have houses and are having babies and they're ready to be stay-at-home moms. And I'm like, give me a fork and shove it in my eyeball before I do that. Like, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. That's never been my goal. But who am I to say that that's wrong? That's so right for those people. And just like they can't say that my vision's wrong. But I don't think you're planted with a vision inside of you that you're not supposed to take action on, right? So some of you know how capable you are. And you can maybe even think of the fact that your mom or your sister or your blah, blah, friend from like third grade that you're connected with on Facebook, you're like, what does Shannon think of my online coaching business? Like, who cares what Shannon's doing? I don't know. Shannon's like, she's not happy. Okay, don't worry about Shannon. But point is, this is in you for a reason, and you owe it to yourself to show up for whatever that vision is for you. And just like you don't want someone naysaying your vision, you don't have to naysay theirs either, right? Beachbody is not for everyone. I don't believe that personally. I don't think everyone should be a coach, but I think a lot of people are really damn scared of what their neighbor thinks, so much so that they won't sign up. So they need to see you share that authentic message of why you were scared, right? And to share that you were nervous of what other people would think, right? That's very common, and it makes us more relatable. But I think it's really important to identify if you're doing one of these things, right? Because that BS, we've got to clear it out, because you can have templates out the wazoo of invites. You can have this massive vision for your future, but if we don't whack some of the weeds out of your path, you're just going to come back to that. Right? And I think 3 of the most prevalent ones are that you are thinking that you don't want to go for great and that mediocre is fine with you, but in your gut, it's not. So we've got to identify if that's the story that you're telling yourself, because it's not serving you and it's not serving other people. Number 2, we have to really hone in on that comparison lens and catch ourselves if we're saying that she has something that we don't, when in reality, truth is, if she's further along in her business, she probably worked harder than you. What's cool about that? You can control that, right? She's either better at being herself, which is going to serve you if you get good at being yourself in every aspect of your life, or she works harder. Awesome. 2 things that you probably want to improve anyways, right? You can control your work ethic, and you can control if you show up as yourself. And that's going to be so much more fun to go through life that way anyways, Beachbody or outside of it, right? And the last thing, if you are the girl, and if this is you, like DM me on Instagram, because I want to know like who this is. This is my favorite person. Where in their gut, they know how capable they are. And they have literally convinced themselves that if they go for this massive goal, they're leaving someone behind or they're inconveniencing someone with their ambition. Ambition is not a dirty word. That's like Legally Blonde. Elle Wood said that, I think, right? I don't know. It's not a dirty word, guys. Because when you chase your dreams in this business structure, you're changing families, right? We're not selling like, I don't know, pink pens, although pink pens are great. Like everyone should have one. But you're not selling pens. You're changing people's lives and how they show up in this world. What you're doing, it really freaking matters. I hope that all of you guys are in Success Club 4. Get out of your own damn way and hit the goal, because it feels good to make progress and you're so freaking close. But even at Success Club 4, you've changed 2 people's lives, and the ripple around each of those people is massive. But if you're at Success Club 4, to use the Beachbody example, go back to number 1. Are you like, I had a good run this month. It's it's almost the end of the month, so I'm just going to throw in the towel. Nope, not you. Not you. You're not here to just coast. You're here to show yourself what you're made of, and whether you're going to be a coach for weeks or months or years or for the rest of your life like me, right? Please know that the skills that you're learning now, hear me, you know this, but sometimes it's good to hear a reminder, the skills that you're learning now are going to impact other choices that you want for your future. It's going to give you skills, but only when you really go in. If you're just like doing this weird toe dip thing where you're like, oh, I'm in, like, oh, I sold the challenge pack, and then you're out, and then you drop at the face of the planet and you never watch team calls again, and then you jump back in, you're building your business like you're driving a stick shift car up a hill. That is so much harder. Why not just decide that you're going to do this thing? It doesn't mean you have to retire your husband or be 8 million trillion diamonds. You don't need to do that, but you need to decide what your goal is, and then you need to turn up the volume a little bit. Not because of Beachbody accolades, not because of anything else, but because you are the girl who turns the volume up. I know you are. Even if you feel socially awkward, you're like, Keisha, but I'm so awkward when I talk to people. You guys, look at me. I am so awkward. I'm so sweaty all the time because I'm so excited. That works when you show up as yourself. Okay? You guys know this. I want to talk about all of those things. Once you get out of your own way, I want to share one thing with you. When you get out of your own way and you really understand that you have something of value to offer people, right? When you've just kind of taken some of these things that are these stories that you've created that aren't serving you, you've pushed them to the side, and then you can actually take action. This is when you own who you are and the person that you want to serve, right? You are the most qualified person to help the skeptic who is on her postpartum journey, if that's your story. You are so freaking qualified. She is lucky to be invited by you, right? Because you know how much this has changed your life. And if you need a gut check, sit down with a piece of paper and write down how different your life would be if you haven't been a coach, or you weren't invited, or your coach was selfish and decided not to show up on social media and share this with you or invite you, even if she was shaking, even if she was sweating in weird places, even if you were on her list. What did you guys call it? Like chicken list or something? Like, even if she was a chicken and you were, I don't know what that is, but even if you were on her chicken list, that seems like an important thing that you guys say. Point is, don't be a chicken. Go out to that list too, because that girl is going to come back to you just like you did to your coach, and she's going to thank you for asking her to be part of this. And she's going to change her freaking life. And the power to do that is in you swiping some of these BS stories out of the way and taking action. This business is so damn simple. It's just we stand in our own way. And every single level is going to require a new elevated version of you. Team Elevate. You guys know this, right? So catch yourself. These things don't go away. Trust me. Every single stage of my business, I had to literally gut check myself in July. And I was like, why have you not gone for 15-star again? Why have you not rank advanced? Because I was saying, everything's good. I have a multiple six-figure-year business. I love my life. Everything's good. But that gut feeling made me sob tears to my team at Summit this year, saying, what the hell am I doing? Why am I not going for great? Don't I want to model behaviors that I would want them to model? And I had to gut check myself 5 years into this business because number one still hit me, right? Everything was good. My business wasn't declining. My income wasn't dropping. Imagine being in that situation, right? I had to gut check myself on this, which is why I hit home with this so hard. And you know what you're capable of. So, like, someone right now is like, she's talking to me, and I love that feeling. So I want to open up for Q&A. I want to ask, like, whatever you guys have questions about. You can literally ask me anything. I'm the most open books. Oh, I didn't even look at the chat.
All right, guys, ask questions. I want to say one thing really quick, Keish. Start bringing in the questions, guys. I love what you said about chasing, like, when we think about being a coach, we think about like the cluttered things that get in the way. But you said chasing the Beachbody goals, any Beachbody goals, makes us a better human being. And that's what I try to drill home all the time. But you said it perfectly. I've never heard it like this. Truly, when you're pushing for goals in your business, maybe goals that frustrate you, maybe goals that make you sweat, like make you feel awkward or whatever, or you feel these limiting beliefs, no matter what you're doing day in and day out, as long as you're showing up, you're becoming a better human. It took me I was a diamond for 2.5 years. And so in that period of me, like Keish said, like the lights just turning on, it took me a long time. but it happened eventually. And every single day I was growing, and I love that. It was so good. And I love you sitting in the crowd saying, you know what? I don't have a story that makes me cry. I don't have a story like that person on the stage, but I have mine. And nobody's talked about that. I'm going to go out and create it. And it's so true. I find so many women who are like, I'm not funny like you, and I don't dance in my kitchen like you, or I don't make out with my dogs like you. But you do the things that make you you, that the other people who think I'm weird, the other people can't relate to, or the people who think Keisha has too much energy, whatever other people can't relate to, they can relate to your story. So good. All right, let's open it up for questions.
One thing I just want to add to that too is, and I definitely want to answer questions, is one thing that I did early on in my business that I think was huge that you just reminded me of, Ashley, is I decided that this business, no matter where it went, because I didn't have the goal of this being a full-time job or a six-figure business or anything like that when I started. It was just a fun thing to fill a void of fulfillment that I didn't have in my corporate job, even though I was happy. I decided this was going to be the thing where I was going to learn how to be me. And imagine, I'll be 30 next month. And at 25 years old, I decided I'm going to build a business on the side that's going to give me more fulfillment and fill this void that I'm not getting in my corporate job, even though I didn't see a big vision. I didn't cast a big vision even early on. But I decided I'm going to get so damn good at being me. It's just going to feel better to be myself. Outside of like physical product results, I was like, I'm going to use this business as a way to just get comfortable. Like, licking my shaker cup and like doing all these weird hashtags. But I failed so many times that I just got so resilient that standing back up just felt so much more normal than staying down did. And that's a huge, huge lesson for life.
So good.
Yeah. Right? So, okay. Sorry. What are the questions? Okay. You want to ask them? You tell me, Ashley.
You do it. It'll be easier if you do.
What's your biggest piece of advice for someone, me, who quit the business is now getting started again? So anyone who has previously done another network marketing business or has quit or had seasons, I think you own it 100%. I honestly think transparency is everything. People are used to getting thrown these picture perfect images, these picture perfect stories, like I'm back with Beachbody smiles, balloons, like jumping pictures. But in reality, I want to know, like I would sit down with pen and paper and understand what was it that you like that made you quit last time? What made you come back this time? What are the teachable things from that you learned as a human being that are applicable? And that should be a theme in your social media, but you should own it hardcore. And then for yourself, Katie, coming back, you have to acknowledge that your mindset is going to need some work on this, and you're going to have to make sure that this is different than last time. So figuring out a couple of things, even like 3 tangible things, like last time I didn't have accountability. This time I'm going to find a success partner. This time I'm going to be on a Zoom call where I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to post on the team page, or this time I'm going to have the conversation with my mom and my sister and my significant other that I never had last time, right? Those 3 tangible things that you can do to keep your mindset in check to show you that it's different, because people are going to feel your belief in this. And if your belief is shaky, they're going to feel that. But if you own it and you come out just like, yeah, hey, like I did another network, and this is not your story, but for anyone else, like I did another network marketing business. Don't badmouth another company, obviously, but like this is so aligned with me. I think this could serve the girl who XYZ. Who do you want to serve? So own it, and then check your own mindset of why this is going to be different. Okay, shooting for diamond over here. I set a goal for myself to hit it by September 25th, a month from now. I'm my own worst enemy. Can I? Any ideas on how to get out of that mindset? I think writing down, taking a piece of paper and making a T and writing down the mean things that you're saying to yourself and proving them wrong with a fact. So that could be challenging, but it's going to change your life, literally. Like that is life-changing advice. So if you say, I'm dumb, what are the things that you've done that qualified you to not be dumb? Like, did you go to school? Did you like start a new job that you didn't feel like you were qualified for and you're like killing it at your job? Whatever it is, search for proof. Like you're talking to a best friend that came up to you and said to your face, hey, Channing, you're dumb. Like, what if someone said that to you that was your best friend? You would be like, oh, girl, you went to college, you did this, you did this. So talk to yourself that way on a piece of paper and write it out and cancel those things out. Find like the most common 3 things that you're saying and then cancel them out on the right-hand side. And that will reframe your brain. And every time you say it, catch it, right? So you say, I'm just using dumb as an example, but like, I'm dumb, where it's like, no, I'm smart. I went to school, I did this. And you're literally reprogramming programming your brain, and then make sure someone around you knows that this is an issue for you. Like if you have a best friend or mom or sister or a roommate or a significant other, that they understand that this is a problem and own it to them and say, this is something I'm actively working on. So if you catch me saying things out loud, can you please help me with the jargon that I'm using? Because what you think and believe about yourself to be true is how you're going to act according to that. So September 25th, I don't even care if you literally signed up today. You can do September 25th to go diamond, but it is going to be your mindset. So the fact that you're aware of it and you can attack it is you're on the right track. But tiny little tangible things like that, I think could help. Kara, biggest piece of advice for hitting Emerald. So I think Emerald is huge, not just because of team cycle bonuses and, being set up for leads and all of that stuff, but Emerald gives you skin in the game that you don't have as a coach because it's cheaper to be a coach than a customer, right? Like you get a discount as a coach to drink Shakeology. So you have less skin in the game as a coach than you do as a customer. So for me, when I went Emerald, I signed up my now fiance and my best friend, Jackie, who was literally just going to support me. She now has a 6-figure business on her own and said she never wanted to build a business. She was wrong. But I had those conversations with them and that helped me show up for myself more. So I think finding those people that are significant to you and telling them why this business matters to you and why you want their support in this business will give you more skin in the game, and it helps them feel part of it. And even if they don't support you, having that conversation is going to give you this resilience that you're going to need in this business long-term anyway. And you're going to feel like you're doing the things that you can control. And having those conversations, it's funny because I get a lot of people that are like, how can I get my significant other to support me? Or like, he doesn't care about my business. I'm like, okay, tell me about the conversations you've had with him about your business. And then she's like, well, I'm like, girl, you think just because I'm girl power that I'm going to be on your side because you're not even telling your husband why this business matters to you? That's on you, right? So Kara, I don't know if that's the conversation. If there's someone like that you can take ownership of like, oh, my sister doesn't know why this matters. I told her I need your social security number. Can I sign you up as a coach? You didn't tell her, I really want to change people's lives. I want to help postpartum moms. I want to help teachers. I want to help whatever. Like when you tell someone why it matters, they're so much more likely to join you. But I think starting with warm market of people that are significant to you is a really good way to get yourself skin in the game and advance your business to Emerald. That is literally, okay. Yes. Okay. Same. It's okay. Oh, okay. Right there. Carrot. You said that Emerald is a low goal, but it's a goal. Brand new coach. Okay. Not a low goal because your version of Emerald to coaches is your first business building goal. So the coach that's been here for a while, that's pushing for diamond, that already has the confidence, right? That gap is the same thing for her. So it's an equal goal, just with your stage of the business. Yes, Emerald is simple, but so is diamond with the right mindset that comes from consistency over time of building your confidence, right? The reason why I can say, okay, I just need to gut check and now we can go for 15-star rather than me self-sabotaging by putting diamonds in other business centers is because I owned it, where I said, oh, I'm the problem. Great, I can fix it too, right? Some people hear that they're the problem and they freak out. I hear I'm the problem and I'm like, great, that means I'm the solution. Sweet, let's go, right? So you're in control of that. And Kara, I think for you, it might just be some conversations that you should have. And also voice message invites. If you're not doing voice message invites, make a list of 25 people that you would be so excited to have on your team or as a challenger, and genuinely tell them why you would be excited. Hey girl, I know this is random. I just started this coaching thing. I'm actually really excited about it. And I really think you would be such an awesome fit for our community. It's a bunch of busy women from all across the country checking into a private app, however you would say it. Voice message invite leading with why she would be excited in a very authentic way. Even if your voice is shaking, even if you say that you're new, don't let analysis paralysis be the thing that holds you back because you're never going to be ready. So if you just wait, like you're just going to be waiting for forever, right? And honestly, the failure, like I even said at the beginning, the like licking my Shakeology cup with like 800 hashtags, that just like taught me what didn't work. So I use those like flops as feedback. And then all of a sudden I've gotten all of this feedback where I'm like, oh, I have a game plan now. A game plan that I wouldn't have had if I just sat there waiting to collect information, making like a binder with tabs or something, right? And I'm not saying that you're doing that, but someone hearing this is doing that. Okay. How do you get the engagement back up in your boot camp when people seem to stop interacting? So I like to have them tag each other too. Like I'll do assignments where they tag each other because I feel like accountability from someone else, like we do them in the My Challenge Tracker app, can be really helpful. I'll ask questions that are not related to like anything health and fitness, because sometimes people like create this story that if they've just fallen off the face of the planet in terms of their fitness, but then you ask them like BSB versus NSYNC and all of a sudden they want to chime in, and then you can like DM them specifically and you can ask them what's going on and start that conversation because they've already interacted. So sometimes having them take each other or asking non-related things or doing like a fun pop-up challenge, it's amazing what people will do for like a $4 headband to get engagement back up again. When I'm like, girl, like you could have just like done your workout. And I also do videos often where like I give them permission to restart on a Wednesday, right? Like basically like I'm saying, hey, if you are the person who's telling yourself the story that you have to wait until Monday or that you've fallen off the face of the planet because we're on day 30 and you know, missed your workouts, like you're going to lap yourself. You can finish this program still. Like, let's jump back in. If anyone has that feeling, comment below. Let's support you and just really make sure that they feel like they're welcomed and that it's normal that if they fell off track that they feel that way, but they can jump back in easily. Okay, what's the best advice for someone who, I literally love Q&A. Okay, what's the best advice for someone who has a hard time opening up to life, open up more and show yourself on social media? So I think baby steps, right? Picking 5 different areas that are important to you in terms of like health and fitness. What's your story with that? What's your story with your business? What are 3 other things that are important to you, right? For me, I love talking about stage of life. The fact that I'm almost 30, I talk a lot about like not having kids or not having these like certain milestones that I thought I would hit at a certain age. I love talking about mindset. So if you're obsessed with Target, like random things that are important to you and kind of picking 5 different areas so you feel a little bit of that control of what you're talking about, I think can be really helpful to build confidence. And setting those micro goals, having that macro vision, like Ashley talked about at the beginning of, casting these big goals, but micro goals so you can build up that confidence and understand that everybody starts scared. And that you might be comparing your early chapters to someone's really far away chapters that has built confidence by more failure than you, right? So the reason that I feel very confident in this business, I've been doing it for 5.5 years and I've never missed Success Club. And what that means is not like, yay, go me, I've never hit Success Club. Yeah, it's cool and I'm proud of it, but I've also gotten so many no's that like I don't even like flinch over a no. I expect a no because I know that they're going to come back around because I've been here long enough to have that confidence. So that applies to everything in this business, right? Where consistency over time, we talk about Success Club and we talk about pushing ourselves. For the people that are even at 0 right now pushing for Success Club, what that's going to teach you is what works and what doesn't work. So you actually have data so you can approach things differently. If you're not posting at all because you're scared of waiting for it to be perfect, number 1, it will never be perfect. Number 2, whoever knows what's going on with algorithms. Sometimes I post them and I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, oh, I liked it, so whatever, I don't care. So the point is, the only way to get better is practice, but having a little bit of a game plan I think can be helpful, of picking a couple of different areas that you feel passionate about is really helpful. And starting with talking to the camera, I always think like I'm talking to one person, like I'm FaceTiming with my best friend. I don't say you guys personally, personal preference, I say girl often because I feel like it's easier for me to talk to one than it is to talk to many, right? So I'm only envisioning one person. Okay. Do you do one-on-one calls with your coaches? How do people earn them? What do you talk about? So this question is so situational depending upon your team. So at this point, we have a lot of diamonds within our downline, multiple layers. So I kind of section out our team based off of stages that they're in. We have an online coach training portal. After they've completed that, then I'll do a call with them. And I like to put people together in groups. So rather than explaining my whole structure that might not be applicable to everyone, I will say one thing that's been helpful is I give like a to-do thing afterwards that they need to do in order to get the next thing, right? Like I only work with people that are also working this business because you can't drag people. And one thing that was really hard for me early on is I see potential, and a lot of us that come into this business have huge hearts. If you don't have a huge heart, you're probably not going to be that successful in this business. But if you've got a heart for people and you want to help people, which all of us do, then you see that potential, or you see how this could change their lives, but they maybe aren't at the stage that they actually want to show up the way that you think that they could, or the way that you think that they should. So having that little extra piece of them doing something to prove that they're getting skin in the game and they're stepping outside their comfort zone to earn that time with you, I think is really powerful. And then grouping them with other coaches that are at the same stage in their business. So I don't know what stage in your business you are, but me as a coach who has been here for 5.5 years, as much as I can connect with a brand new coach, I can't say that I understand what it feels like anymore to be scared to post on social media. As much as I want to tap back to that girl I was 5.5 years ago, I'm not her anymore. But my other 5 new coaches who signed up within a couple of weeks can understand it, so I can mentor them together so they understand they're not alone. So I think creating layers like that is really helpful too. Okay, there's a lot more. Let's see. I'll do one more. Can you touch on growing your team, like how you inspire interest and opportunity to attract dream coaches to you? So I personally love to talk about network marketing now and the side hustle. I reached a point in my business where I was like, why am I just talking about this as like a full-time job when I would have never been attracted to a full-time job as a coach? So I love to share other people's stories and small wins about coaching. And that seems to be the most effective way that I'm attracting coaches through Instagram, is by highlighting other reasons why coaches started and their very small wins. So like $100 paycheck, or building confidence in themselves, or taking their significant other out to date night. We'll do like paycheck party threads in our team page, or when my coaches DM me something, I'll chop their name off and I'll share like what it is that's helped them in the early stages of their business. So sharing other people's stories is one answer. The other part is I educate a lot on Instagram, where like I explain that I was nervous about this. When I jump on a team call like this, I explain that I was scared of not having resources. So I'm talking really to a specific girl, which is essentially who I was 5 years ago, and I'm only addressing her concerns. So I sign up a lot of people that make $70,000+ a year. They have corporate jobs where everything on paper makes quote unquote sense, but they've got a gut feeling they want more, because that's what I talk about all the time. They're scared of other people's opinion because they already have all of the things and they think their friends are going to think they're weird. Right? They don't have a crazy back against the wall story, but they have this gut feeling that they cannot shake, and they feel like they're a crazy person. So because I know so well who I'm most excited to serve, who I feel most qualified to serve, I talk to her so directly that I'm getting a lot of those people into my boot camps that are then transferring as coaches, or coming in wanting to coach, that I'm plugging into the boot camps and then helping them build a business from there. So to answer, sharing other people's stories, really knowing who I'm talking to and getting on the actual camera video, which takes time and practice if you don't normally do that. But remember, everybody sucks before they get good. You just got to fail a little bit to see what works and just get that confidence built. And remember, people cheer someone on a journey. So for any of you guys that are also telling yourself the story of like, you have to wait until you have the abs, or wait until you're at diamond, or wait until you've made $100 in 1 week, or $1,000, or whatever your crazy thing you're telling yourself is, being on the journey of come with me, I'm new, I'm so excited, let's do this together, that is powerful. I went diamond like 5 weeks after I ran my first boot camp in January of 2014, literally because I was like, I don't even really know what I'm doing, but I feel like you would totally like this too. Like, we should do this together. And I just talked to so many people that I went diamond, and I was like, now what do I do? And then I didn't know how to do anything, so I had to figure all that out afterwards. But the point is, if you're new, using that newness and even sharing the newness and your voice shaking and being nervous and acknowledging that you're nervous, there's nothing wrong with that. People connect with that because it's real. So don't wait to be perfect. Don't take 800 videos of yourself. Just go, right? Just go. Messy's better than perfect, I think.
Yes, I think the whole trend here and every question that you answered was that we just need to stay real with every season that we're in. Like we talk about the new coach, like be the shaky coach, be the coach who is excited and doesn't know what she's doing, and share that like authentically. Because when we're true to who we are, people feel that, and a different type of trust is built than somebody who comes in this business and they act like their coach. They act like they're the 6-figure earner already, or they try to pretend like something they're not. People can feel that. So good. So good. Guys, if you don't already follow her on podcast, it's the Empower Her podcast. Follow her. It's like, if you have an iPhone, it's the little purple little eye icon. podcast app. So good. And then just type it into the chat. Her episodes are incredible. She makes tons and tons of episodes, like with really anything that you're going through, life, business, you know, journey, everything. But Keisha, you are so amazing, guys. Show her some love.
You guys
oh, go ahead.
I'm so proud of you guys. Ashley, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of this whole team. Yes, it's a we thing, but like Ashley had to get out of her damn way a lot to keep this thing moving. So I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so excited for you. 15 star, keep it going.
Woo! All right, guys, have a good rest of your night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.